A very good morning, folks. A very happy Friday. Keith here from Commander Hoops. If this is your first time coming across the channel, all I can ask is like and subscribe below. It would be appreciated. Couple of clicks away from the 19k, but it's going to be a busy Friday ahead for Celtic fans. There's a lot of transfer talk. We have preparations ahead for the Glasgow Derby this coming Sunday, and the Europa League draw is on at 12 o'clock, which I'll be doing a watch along ahead of it. Busy times. But we'll talk about first of all, Adam Idah is on the way to Swansea City. He's undergoing a medical as we speak. Reportedly a fee of 7 million quid for the 24-year-old Irish international. Now, let's be honest, Adam Idah hasn't been at the Celtic standard all summer. He's played 4 games this season, hasn't scored so far, and we've seen his reaction when he missed that penalty tonight. Didn't seem like he cared less, to be honest, compared to other players like Luke McCowan. Adam Idah, when he came in at Celtic, he got a lot of scrutiny on loan. And I said, look, let's get behind this guy. That's the board's problem. We haven't been ambitious in that window. And he played pretty well for Celtic. He scored over in Easter Road, 2 penalties that night. He scored at Motherwell, crucial goals. He scored 9 big goals in his loan spell at Celtic. And then the most important goal he scored in his loan move was the goal in the Scottish Cup final against Rangers, which we won the double, which a lot of Celtic fans will remember for. A lot of Celtic fans like myself were calling for him to get the permanent move from Norwich, and we stalled him. The board stalled him, and we could have got him for about 5-6 million, but he left it towards the dying embers of the window, and we ended up buying him for 9 million. Scored a couple of goals in the Champions League last year, especially in the league phase, and then he scored decent goals against Aston Villa as well in one of the final games. But he just dipped off. He was never going to replace Kyogo. He just wasn't at the standard. He just didn't get that type of service. Was it down to Matt O'Reilly leaving Celtic as well at the start of last season when Idah came in? Because that loan spell, he was getting a lot of service to Idah. But at the end of the day, we'll take this, and this is his stats as well. He played 76 games for Celtic, 29 goals, 3 assists. So he will leave with 2 league titles, a Scottish Cup and a Scottish League Cup. He said his farewells last night to his Celtic teammates, as you see there in the comments as well. So 7 million back off a guy that we bought for 9 million, considering he's been nowhere near the level. I'd rate his Celtic career probably a 6 out of 10. So I wish him the best down in the Championship. I think Swansea's a good move for him. Swansea are breaking their transfer record over the last three seasons. The most they've paid is 5.1 million for a player. So because they have new ownership there of Luka Modric coming in, there's been shares bought from Snoop Dogg, so they're looking to push to be into the English Premier League as well. So interesting times. Regards to his replacement, last night the news broke from the Sun Sport that Celtic are looking to get Danish international Kasper Dolberg. Now, I had a look at this guy last night when I was on my live. He's 27 years of age. He's 6'1". His current market value is 12.7 million on transfer market and FOTMob, but Celtic are looking to put a bid in of around 8.5 million for the Anderlecht striker. He's been at Anderlecht for the last 2 years in the Belgium Pro Jupiter League, 95 games, 44 goals. So far this season, he's played 8 games in Belgium in qualifying for the Europa League and then the Conference League, which they dropped down to, and he's already scored 5 goals so far. He's experienced playing for Hoffenheim, Sevilla. He played in France as well for Nice, and he came through the Ajax Academy there as well, as you see, from 2016 up to 19. He played almost 120 games of 45 goals. He would be familiar with Celtic's #1 keeper, Kasper Schmeichel, because he's been capped for Denmark 55 times. He scored 12 goals for them as well. One of them moments is actually against Ireland there. Sad, but I think this is a good bit of business for Celtic. Yeah, 8 million, it's a lot on a 27-year-old. I know it's not Celtic's particular business model where they want to get a player in young, develop them and sell them on, but we need experience. We need to go out and get something better than Adam Idah. And what I mean by better by Adam Idah is He's at the playing in France. He's at the playing in Belgium. He played in Spain. He's played for Ajax. He's played for some really decent clubs. And looking at him on YouTube as well, type of player that we need, someone big up front. Yeah, Idah was a little bit taller than him, but we need that physicality because we're lacking that quality up front. Let's be honest. Days of Maeda was poor the other night. Celtic fans are wondering, will Maeda leave in this window? I don't think he will leave in this window. Callum Osman, we haven't seen much of him. Johnny Kenny got a new deal. Will he be a part of the first team, even though it's a long-term deal? You know, Inamura still, even though he started last week against Livy, will we see more of him? So I think if we do get this guy in over the next 24 hours, a medical's booked, if a bid's accepted, we hopefully should have him in for Sunday's game at Ibrox. It's a big ask, but stranger things have happened in football. In regards to the left back, Uruguayan left back, we've been looking at Marcelo Sarachhi from Boca Juniors. There was a report to him flying to London on Tuesday to complete his visa, international clearance, a loan move for the season, no obligation to buy. Nothing else from about the 27-year-old Uruguayan who played 9 times for his country. Experience playing for Galatasaray, Levante, Red Bull like slip as well. So we just need cover for Tierney left back. So would that mean that Inamura will go on loan? Will we send Inamura on loan, preferably to someone in Scotland to give him the experience? Hopefully, I thought Inamura was impressive against Livy, but he's not in the Champions League squad. Brendan Rodgers has already said that he's not at the Champions League level, but the only way he's going to develop in European football or even Scottish football is getting them the Scottish football under his belt and then review it, come back from his loan next summer, and then maybe he'd be at the level to take a gamble with him in Europe. It depends where we are next season. So I hope Inamura goes on loan to someone in Scotland, even a St. Mirren or something. It would be ideal for him. But that's really it. Hopefully we can get Dolberg over the line over the next couple of days. We can get Idah out. Look, it's one chapter closed, another chapter open, regards to strikers, because we've been calling for strikers. I would have preferred if we took the cheap option and we actually got Bojan Morowski from Spain, which he's already agreed terms with Rangers for 2.6 million. I think it's a shame because I liked Morowski. I thought he looked like a pretty decent player. He scored goals against us. He knew Scottish football inside out. Didn't work out for him over in Spain, but that's just Celtic typical. We've lost out on Lennon Miller. We're putting bids in for half the valuation of players, like players in Sweden for Harmarby that we've been looking at, Tunisian winger. He's reportedly meant to be valued at 5 million. Celtic have been putting in 1.2 million bids and then 3.8 million bids. Just pay the money. We have the money in the bank. Pay the money for these players and stop being stingy, because the longer you leave it with the clock ticking, they have a scruff over you. The teams, they have a scruff over you because you know that you're trying to get players in, you're panicking. At the same time, the Celtic board haven't showed enough ambition in this window. We've already spent just 8 million, just over 8 million, 4.5 million on Balak Wisha yesterday from Royal Antwerp. So if the Belgian Pro Jupiler League pays off for us, if we get Dolberg in and Balak Wisha in, put them straight in the mix at Ibrox. Why not? He's already been playing, Dolberg, 8 games. Balak Wisha has already played 5 games so far this season, so why not? But I'm going to leave it there, folks. I will be back around 11:45 for the Europa League draw, and then I'll be back tonight for another podcast as well. Busy day ahead. Do subscribe to the channel, and hail, and I shall see you soon. Take care.